Good evening or good morning, good whatever time it is you're listening to this. I hope you're having a good one. I'm going to be going over the datasets, earnings, and what I expect out of the SPY for February 27th, 2025. And with that said, let's go ahead and jump straight into the datasets. So we have the jobless claims tomorrow, which is, a weekly data set. I'm not really expecting anything too crazy out of it. The consensus is that it's going to go up very slightly, but if we get a large uptick, then we can expect the yields to move downward. If we get a large downtick, so if we see the jobless claims move down, then we should expect the dollar and the yields to move upward in anticipation for, additional rate pauses for the end of the year sort of thing. We have the core PCE prices for quarter four tomorrow. We have the GDP for quarter four and the price or GDP price index, which those two are going to be pretty big data sets. I think that might be something that the market's waiting for. If they're expecting that to be quite lower, hopefully we get that a little higher, but we will see. Overall, I'm not seeing any data sets really too crazy. We have two Fed speakers tomorrow. We have the Vice Fed or Vice Chair Fed Bar at 10 a.m. and then we have at 11:45 p.m. or 11:45 a.m. we have Fed member Bowman speaking. And then going over the earnings. And just to touch on something really quick, I believe most of the major data sets are going to come this Friday when we get the major PCE data. I don't expect tomorrow to be too crazy for data, but for earnings tomorrow, we have Rocket Lab, we have Dell, we have SoundHound, and Archer Aviation in the after hours. I might play Rocket Lab, not sure. I know many of you play Archer though and are interested in Dell, so I just wanted to bring those up. But I'm really not too focused on the earnings this week. I was mainly focused on NVIDIA and seeing how NVIDIA beat their earnings on both just the EPS and just the guidance alone. Um, should be a good thing for the market. I know it's currently red right now in the after hours, but I'll talk about that in a moment. Just a quick reminder before we get into the technical analysis. If you've been finding value in my insights, consider joining my Patreon. For just $12.99 a month, you'll get access to my trades, courses, and powerful tools to help you grow as a trader. I'd love to have you be a part of our team and community. And it's less than 43 cents a day. So if you'd like to join, click in the link in the description. Thanks. And getting into the technical analysis, let's go ahead and check the moving averages and the Bollingers on the daily chart. So we have the 5 MA currently at 599.26 and the market closed at 594.54. So it's very likely we're going to have the 5 MA opening around 597.80, give or take. At least around that 597.50, around there. The 10 MA is going to be at 604.35. That will open lower tomorrow. Not by much, but it will open lower. We have the 20 MA at 603.66. So our shortest support, the 5 MA, is closest to us right now. We also have the lower Bollinger at 592.80. And discussing the lower Bollinger really quick, we are going to be entering the third day of the lower Bollinger move. We had the first session, which gave us that really, really deep low. We had the second session, which usually is supposed to give us a lower low, but that didn't happen with this time. This time, it happens. Can't really do anything about it. We can only expect the best out of it, right? But now we're seeing the market actively pulling up towards the 5 MA while the 5 MA is pulling down towards the market. So what's very, very likely going to happen is that the market is going to pull up towards the 5 MA. So with the 5 MA opening around 597.80, give or take tomorrow, it's it's only around $2 away from us, and with the overnight, it's starting to climb up just a little bit, so it's closing in on that 596 area. But we should very likely see that 5 mile being tested either tomorrow or the day after. And we still have 2 more sessions, so that gives us plenty of time for that 5 mile test. And if we do test the 5 mile tomorrow, I usually expect $2 underneath it, about $1 to $2 underneath the level, and then $1 to $2 above the level. So say if the 5 mile opens exactly where I anticipate at the 597.80, then we should expect close to the 600 range, because $2 above that would be 599.80, but the 5 mile moves up as the price moves closer to it. So that would probably pull up to 600 and uh or 620 cents. Uh so that's what I'd be looking for tomorrow. I don't really anticipate the market to pull downward, especially with Nvidia's earnings not being bad. I know that Nvidia's kind of getting beat up in the after hours, but their earnings weren't bad at all. The guidance wasn't bad. There truly wasn't anything bad about it. I just don't think it was a total, knockout, but uh, very likely it's the dealers trying to just lower the IV on the options and pull a fast one during the open. But yeah, so I covered the 5 mod test, covered lower Bollinger Day 3, and just to discuss that a little bit further. So when we do have a lower Bollinger move, generally you don't get the Day 3. Sometimes you do. Like that's an example. But generally you get 2 sessions and then it pulls up into the 5 mile. Like for example, 2 sessions pulls upward. Basically 2 sessions starts pulling upward. This one's 3 sessions. That one is 2 sessions and then pulls upward. 2 sessions pulls upward. 2 sessions pulls upward. So it's a pretty solid trend. I mean, this one not so much. You get to 2 sessions, pulls upward, 2 sessions. So yeah, this one's a little more extended, but you do get the 5 mile test in there. As you can see though, I mean, the general idea is that very likely after you get that lower low, you're going to pull up, and unless we get a move like this one, but I don't see that really happening as the selling tapered off today. Uh, Unlike this selling on this day where the second daily candle is super deep compared to over here where it started to slow down a lot. Um, I mean, we almost saw a majority of the session get bought back up towards the end of the day. So that's what I'm looking at there, but I want to take a look at, I believe the hourly. It's either the hourly or the 4 hour. Let's take a look at the 4 hour. Let's go ahead and turn off the moving averages in the Bollinger. Now, I do want to take a look right here, actually on the 1 hour chart, and there's 2 structures I'm kind of looking for here out of the day tomorrow. And let me go ahead and show drawings so I can highlight this. Now, either we are going to get the inverse head and shoulders playing out, which if that does happen, then, we look for this gap right here to be taken. And with that gap being taken, we should expect, essentially a move all the way back up to the upper consolidation channel. And granted, this is probably going to be pulled over more. But you get the point. Very likely this is going to be bullish liquidity to pull upward and fill that gap before we start testing higher highs. But if this doesn't work out this way, and say this turns into an inverse cup, because we do have this really nice gap at this 589 area. And this very easily can turn into an inverse cup. I mean, technically we do have um, the liquidity for somewhat of a head and shoulders built here. And while it's not great, the market makers absolutely can pull this downward to, fill that gap and then build a handle off of that. Pull back up, build a handle, and then head downward to fill that gap. I don't think that's going to be the case though, and I just want to show you on the daily chart really quick. Actually, I want to go to the 4-hour chart. We have this really strong buying channel, which it's called my micro buying channel, but essentially this orange channel has been lasting since last November, um, or the November of 2023 when we had that pivot and it started this huge rally anyway. So this buying channel is extremely strong. It's very likely we bounce off the bottom, like we did right there. I mean, very likely that was the bounce. If we do pull downward, I'm looking for it to bounce off that level again, and just to pull that up on the hourly chart so you can see it a little bit better. Don't tell me I have to load it. No, I'll have to load it, so we're not going to look at that. But very likely we're going to bounce upward and fill this cup right here. And then after we do that, expect it to pull up a little bit further, build a handle, and then we can expect to start heading, up into the 620 range, give or take. Um, that's kind of what I'm looking for right now. Either this is going to break down and we're going to see this break under this major or this micro buying channel and start heading to that bottom consolidation channel, or we're going to see it pull upward and fill out, that cup and head upward. But I don't think it's going to do that just because we are in the day 3 of the bottom Bollinger, and it's not standard for that to swing back down and head downward again. It can though. There has been some extended selling, like a move right there, but I explained this candle right here is the largest candle. Usually you'd be looking for something deeper in this, second or third candle, whatever you want to call it. But this candle right here should have been a lot deeper, which is why I originally anticipated to have that day 2 lower low. As you can see, I mean, even if the move is extended, the day 2 lower low is something that is pretty consistent across the board with these moves. I mean, day 2 lower low, day 2 lower low, day 2 lower low. Sorry, my daughter's screaming. Day 2 lower low, day 2 lower low, day 2 lower low, day 2 lower low. And what I finally wanted to go over is this potential inverse cup right here, but I don't really think it is because we technically didn't hit the bottom correctly. Hold on. This one hit 589 almost to the T, and this one was off by a whole 50 cents. It can be a inverse cup, so technically that would be the cup, and we could be forming a handle downward to break this channel. And like I mentioned, if we are gonna head downward, we'll see, the deeper move starting to happen very likely tomorrow or Friday, but um extremely likely we're gonna bounce and head upward. So with that said, I hope everyone has a safe trading day tomorrow. Have a great night and a great day, and yeah, that's it. See you later.